This episode's brought to you by Flying Eyes. Stick around later in the episode to find out how to get 10% off.
He's high though. He's 500 feet high, which indicates that he's going on the faster arrival. He looks like he's moving quick too. We're gonna have to do a hold here at Endeavor. Look at this train. I know, it's unreal.
Hey y'all, today we're in Northwest Arkansas and we're going to the largest fly-in event in the whole world. Let's go to Oshkosh.
One of the things is Oshkosh, there's an incredible amount of aircraft that are flying in at the exact same time. It's incredibly congested. That's what's going to happen when you have the largest flying in the world. So one of the important things is to make sure that you're familiar with the notice. It used to be called NOTAM, Notice Airman, but now they just call it the notice. Not to be confused. Funny story on that. My first time flying in, this is a different event, but another large fly-in with Sun and Fun. I was flying with my friend Scooby. He's a F-16 fighter pilot. We've been best friends since pilot training. And we're flying a T-38 in Sun and Fun. What ended up happening is everyone's like, check the notes. We're like, yeah, we're going to check the notes. We're pilots. We check the notes every time we fly in. And we got in, and as we get about 50 miles out, they're like, are you familiar with the Warbird Arrival? And we're like, no, we're not familiar with the Warbird Arrival. Are you familiar with the Warbird? And we just went back and forth, and we could not get any confirmation from them. We wound up putting ourselves in the middle of the pattern where all the GA's aircraft were landing on the north side of the airfield, and it was pretty terrifying. We had a couple close passes, and it was a very poor example of how to go into a large event like that. So we've learned our lesson, and hopefully through this, you'll learn your lesson. It's absolutely critical to understand these NOTAMs in and out. So this is their notice that they have in. Like I said, I've already reviewed it. I've flown in before. I've checked out the videos. I've read this. But on the way there, while everything's nice and calm, we're going to go ahead and review it a little bit more. So talks a little bit about pre-flight planning. The big picture is once you get close to a transition point getting into Oshkosh, you want to be at 90 knots. Unless you're in an aircraft that requires you to be going a little bit faster. And in that case, you go 2,300 feet instead of 1,800 feet, and you're allowed to be at 135 knots. So those are some considerations for that. Big picture, they've got some transition points going in. The primary arrival in Oshkosh, and any of those who have done it before understand, it's called the Fisk Arrival. And so that's just kind of synonymous with the arrival into Oshkosh. So for the Fisk Arrival, you have these check-in points you go. You have Ripon, you have Pickett, and you have Fisk. And then before you get to Ripon, because on some of these days it's even busier, you have Green Lake, and even past that you have Endeavor Bridge. And so knowing those locations, knowing what they look like, and then what I do that I really like is on my flight planning software, I'm using ForeFlight today, I go in and I actually plug in all the waypoints. That way, that combined with my Stratus puck allows me to see not only where am I at relative to those VFR entry points, but just gives me an overall better essay as to what's going on. And so by saying essay, that's a term we use in the military. It transitions over in the civilian world as well, but essay is situational awareness. So your awareness of where you are, where your aircraft is, what the other aircraft are going on around you, what the weather's going on, right? The entire scope of what's happening around you, you have different levels of essay, right? Nobody has perfect essay, but your goal is to put yourself up as high as you can on that ladder as possible. And if you ever find yourself starting to fall behind that, you need to slow things down and figure out what's going on to work to continue to build that essay up. Particularly going into Oshkosh, things happen very fast. There's a lot of radio calls. Fortunately, there's not a lot of radio calls you have to make, but you need to be aware of everything that's going on. So when they hear your aircraft designated, you can make the appropriate action and go where you need to go. It's not something you want to go in blind in. The reason why this is so different than any other type of normal approach or normal airport that you would land in is that there are literally hundreds of aircraft at the same time that are trying to fly in. Normally when you're flying an approach, if you're just shooting a visual approach, you may have 2 or 3 aircraft in, and normal procedures the FAA have will help ensure that you stay safe. Here, that's not the case. So that's why we have a 30-page document, 31-page document that will tell us the specific procedures to go in. And the reason for that is that you have a lot of aircraft that are half-mile spacing. You have all these VFR entry points that you have to go into, and it's just way more complex. Even if you're shooting an instrument approach, so say that you're completely in the clouds and you have to land, you may have 3 or 4 points that you have to worry about and not a whole lot of other aircraft around you, right? So your biggest threat is the ground. And so that is normally something that's extremely stressful, and you have to go through all these clearances to get an IFR clearance and to get your IFR capabilities to be able to do that approach because it's fairly complicated. This, you can just be a basic private pilot license to go in, but there's an incredible amount of work. And you can know what you're supposed to do But then the question becomes, what happens when something's not going according to plan? What if you have an aircraft cut you off? What if you start getting to another aircraft that's going slower than 90 and you don't feel comfortable and you have to break out? Where do you go? What if they told you to hold in a place that you haven't reviewed what the holding procedures are? You really need to review all of that prior to going in. For the Fisk Arrival, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our primary reporting point, which we have four primary reporting points. We have the Endeavor Bridge, we have Puckaway Lake, Green Lake, on our way to Ripon, which is the primary point. So we'll try to go into Ripon today unless the ATIS is telling us that we need to go into one of these previous reporting points. Like I said, I've programmed in all of those reporting points into my flight planner for flight here, so we have all of those set up. The next thing we want to know is if we get to one of those points, what do we have to do if we have to hold? This is just a visual approach, kind of doing a square pattern around Green Lake. If we get to Ripon and then we're on our way to Fisk and we have to hold, well, now there's another hold that we have to do. And this one's a little non-standard. This is kind of a triangular hold. So go to Fisk, go west, just north of the Rush Lake, south of the Rush Lake. So make a left turn there, and then another left turn on your way back from Ripon to Fisk on that line that originally goes there. One thing I recommend here is try not to make this one continuous turn. One of the things we do in the military when we're entering a pattern where there may be potential traffic that's going in the same direction is make two 45-degree turns. So as we're making this 90-degree turn here, instead do a 45-degree turn, roll out, particularly if you're in a low-wing aircraft, check to make sure that there's no traffic that's going between Ripon and Fisk. And then once you're getting closer to that, now get back into another 45-degree turn once you ensure that you're clear of any other traffic so that you can get into Fisk without worrying about other traffic, because there's going to be a lot of other traffic there. So that's the big picture of that. Like I said, do a thorough review as you get to Fisk. Now, once you get to Fisk, things get complicated again. From Fisk, you actually have two different transition points that you can make. So you can do the railroad track transition, which kind of goes to the northeast, or you can do the Fisk Avenue transition that goes directly east. One thing to watch out for is there's a highway called Highway 44 here that kind of runs between the two different transitions, and it's easy to bite off on that road that runs east and west instead of Highway 44. So look for that microwave tower and stay just north of that, and that's going to set you up real well to go to that north-south runway. The primary arrival that I've seen to Oshkosh is runway 18, and so for that you're going to take Fisk Avenue to the east, and you should be able to pick up runway 1836. There's two parallel runways there, and you should be able to pick those up pretty easily visually. Basically run yourself to the south, to eastbound on the Fisk Road, and set yourself up on a left downwind for those runways. You want to, one thing that's a little different on this is you want to start your descent as you're entering downwind, as opposed to what you're kind of a beam at the runway, because it's going to be a short pattern, and you may need a short approach and potentially a long landing, depending upon which dot you're going to land on. So that's one thing that's very unique and interesting about Oshkosh, is that you don't just land on the runway. You actually have to have a specific spot on the runway. So there is a blue dot. Past the blue dot, there's a pink dot. Past the pink dot, there's a yellow dot. And past the yellow dot, there's a purple dot. And so you can have two aircraft landing simultaneously on the runway with one aircraft on top of the other, landing on different sections of the runway. Once again, a reason why you don't want to just go wild dingo on this and not have looked at it prior to going in. All right, so once you get to downwind, you're going to start your descent, and you want to turn base either when ATC tells you to turn base, or no later than that blue dot is when you want to turn base. We'll go on the blue dot, and then the ATC controllers will tell you which dot they want you to land on. If you haven't done spot landings in a while, maybe a good time to go practice that. All right, so that's the big picture of getting to Oshkosh. Once you are clear of that, big thing is to watch out for any potential factor things on the ground. There's a lot of cones, there's a lot of people in golf carts, there's other aircraft, and as you're taxiing to park, just be extra vigilant about wingtip spacing and all of those things prior to going into park. That looks a lot better. All right, 425 Tango, complete with that 360. I'm going to 1 mile final, 36 for Stockberry.
All right, so we just left Arkansas. We've now landed here in Sauk Prairie, I assume, which is in the state of Wisconsin. We saw a huge train of aircraft from Oshkosh, really backed up. Apparently there were a couple incidents that happened simultaneously, which shut down both runways. So what we're doing is we landed here. We're gonna go ahead and let the engine cool off before we try to crank it up again. That's why that cowling's open. And then we're gonna take off. We're gonna find that train. We're gonna get the end of it. And we're gonna go 90 knots all the way into Oshkosh. They are sending some people from Ripon, but it looks like they've stopped. Take a look here. There's actually people from Ripon. There's a line between the last person that has gone to Ripon, so I wonder if something happened now where they're not allowing any more arrivals. Get a couple aircraft approaching Ripon. We'll see what they do. If they go straight, then we'll press. If they turn left, we'll wait here and figure out what's going on. See, this train is going in. Absolutely insane. All right, Ripon, moment of truth. What are you gonna do? He's going straight. Based off this, it looks like they're using the railroad arrival. All right, so I think what they did is I think they probably just have too many aircraft coming in here. So they're giving a pause, having everybody hold as they send more people in. Call the ATIS, there's not an issue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and button up the jet, or button up the airplane. We're gonna crank up, we're gonna get airborne, and we're gonna go wait in line.
I'm going to give us 10 flaps since this is a shorter field. And we're going to do a static takeoff. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. We're going to use all the runway today. There's 80. We're going to rotate. Good thing we got a field in front of us. Power lines, we can get some speed so we can pop a lump if we need to. There we go. Gears coming up. Madison approach over 425 Tango.
425 Delta Tango.
Yeah, 425 Tango. I'm just taking off out of Sauk Prairie, going to be joining the line for Oshkosh.
Roger. Squawk via forward and join the line. Have a good day.
All right, have a good one. See you. All right, so we've got ATIS is 125.9 in the aux. Can't hear it quite yet. We've got Fisk approach is 120.7. Y'all ready? Yep, here we go. Aircraft off our nose, plus 500, no factor. Let's, he's in the left hander. There's one behind him there at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
We'll flow in behind him. He's high though. He's 500 feet high, which indicates that he's going on the faster arrival. He looks like he's moving quick too. So not a factor. There'll be aircraft that are flying directly above us. We're gonna have to do a hold here at Endeavor. Look at this train. I know, it's unreal.
Got another high wing up top with a nose light flashing rock here. Skymaster, there we go. There you go, good rock. Continue up the railroad tracks for runway 27. A low wing Bonanza type, turn right. Low wing, there you go. I need that in that right turn. Very good. I need you to slow that down. Cherokee's type, rock your wings for me over Fisk. There you go. All right, I need you to make that right turn as well. Follow the one in front of you, but I need some more spacing. Follow that one on the right in front of you. Make that right turn. Follow that east-west road for runway 36. I need a little bit more spacing between you guys. If you're on the east-west road, it's going to be 26.6 for tower. Monitor them now. And fib, turn left and go west. And fib, turn left and go west. The one's half mile. It's not going to work. Going to have to find your alternate tonight. High wing over Fisk. Rock your wings. There you go. I need you to turn right. Turn right now. Follow that east-west road for me. My next high wing, about a half mile. Rock your wings for me. Next high wing, there you go. All right, I need both of my high wings to turn right. Both my high wings, turn right, and fib, keep that left turn going, and fib, turn left. Low wing, wigwags, up the railroad tracks, rock to acknowledge, there you go. High wing that's over Fisk, I need you to turn right. High wing over Fisk, turn right. Yep, that's you, I'm talking to you. You're supposed to be following that east-west road. I need you in a right turn. There you go, that's what I need to see. And fib, I need you to turn left. And fib, I need you to turn left. That's okay. And fib, I need you to go westbound and find your alternate. All right, looks like I've got some high wings on the east-west road. You should be monitoring tower 126.
Lowing on the left base, squared up.
Mooney, not you. Mooney, you continue to the numbers. Mooney, right to the numbers. Runway 36 left. You're clear to land on the yellow dot. My Cherokee inside the freeway. You square up your turn here. Just going to tighten you up a little bit. You're blowing out a little bit. That's all.
White King, can you take the right side? Can you run away?
Affirm.
White King, thanks for the help. You are my hero. 36 right, clear to land. Red square.
Alright, 36 right, red square, clear to land. White King.
Everybody, once you land, get it slowed down under control. Left turn to the grass as soon as you can. Multiple aircraft, continue landing. Cherokee on the descent direct towards the numbers. Just on the left base, are you flight of 2? Just on the left base, are you guys a flight of 2?
I got 2 Cessnas just inside the highway. You guys together?
No, sir. Negative. It's a sportsman crossing the highway right now, left base 36.
High one, start slowing down. You're going to drop behind the one just beneath you here. So start slowing down. I'll bring you down here.
I got him inside. We'll follow him in.
Okay.
Mooney, when you slow it down, left turn in the grass. Follow the flagman. Welcome to Oshkosh.
How about this? My high Cessna, you're going to go through the funnel here. You're going to land behind the King Air, runway 36 right. Clear to land on the red square. High Cessna, you copy?
It's a high sportsman. I'm going to follow the King Air under 36 right.
Here we go. You got it, my friend. Red square is yours.
Red square, 36 right. Roger.
Cherokee on the base, keep that descent coming. Turn in towards the numbers. They're following the Cessna. Red nose Cherokee, left turn into the grass. Left turn into the grass. Follow the flagman to parking. Welcome to Oshkosh. Thanks for the help. Master's on the left base, turn in direct towards the numbers. You're too far out. Over the highway.
Welcome to Oshkosh, boys. Woo!
My second Cessna number 36 right. You can set it down anytime in there between the green square and when they get traffic ahead slow.
Well,
Highway due south power, turn left direct to the numbers. 36
Look at my
west clear
phone.
land on the yellow dot.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude. Sweet, so we finally, we actually landed here at Oshkosh. It took a while. We got stuck in a huge line of aircraft. There was a couple instances happening on the affiliate caused everybody kind of fall behind. But we made it, so you can see it's beautiful here. We had about 10 to 15 minutes before they shut down the airfield, so we made it just in the nick of time. Landing went fine. Taxi back, we got parked here in the South 40, and we're gonna enjoy Oshkosh for the next 4 days. So this episode has been brought to you by Flying Eyes. Honestly, these are some of my favorite sunglasses I've ever flown with. They're incredibly durable. They've got polycarbonate lenses. And if you want to get a pair of these, go to Flying Eye Optics. Check out with code DOZEN and you get 10% off and you help support the channel as well.